So a few men have commented on my videos where I talked about validating their wife's feelings, and so I wanted to share a couple of those with you in today's episode of How to Deal with Your Wife's Irrational Feelings. Sean says, feelings aren't more important than rationality. Irrational feelings shouldn't be validated. Thanks, Sean. Greg says, her feelings are delusional, and feelings can be destructive to the relationship. Really insightful, Greg. In a video where I told men to prioritize affection and gratitude in their marriage, Mark writes, doesn't work, women don't even know what they want, and then he told me I have a simplified view of marriage. Thanks for the advice, Mark. Listen, I don't know everything. And if you have a better approach, I'm open to listening because I believe I could still learn something from you. Do you share that sentiment with me? Because I can't help you with anything that I feel like has helped me if you don't feel like you have anything to learn, or if you think I'm simply taking her side. I'm not on anyone's side. I'm not getting paid for this. I don't have a hidden agenda. I have 4 kids and I do this in my spare time because I care about you and I care about your marriage. I'm on the side of your marriage thriving. Is that what side you're on? I'm not saying I'm right and you're wrong. I'm saying this is what the research has shown leads to connection and passion and more sex and less fighting in your marriage. This is what the data shows prevents divorce. You know what was crazy about me? I was so logical and rational, but I had no evidence for the way I was doing marriage. I mean, where's your peer-reviewed journals? Where are your professors that back your beliefs on how to handle your marriage and your wife's feelings? For being so logical and rational, I find it odd that you simply just trust your gut. You know, I just feel it in my gut. Your gut's wrong. It's not just full of nachos and beer, it's full of pride, just like mine was. See, pride says, I know what's best. Do you know what the research says not accepting the influence of your wife and holding all the power results in? An 81% chance the relationship dies. And I don't want to oversimplify things, but don't you find it a bit self-centered that you've become the judge of what makes a feeling someone else is having rational or not? I mean, men, we say things like, you're being too sensitive. Well, too sensitive to who? Irrational according to whose standard? Yours, right? Here's where I think I lost you. I didn't explain well enough that you don't have to agree with her perspective to ascribe value to it. Right? You ever disagreed with someone that you respected, your boss or someone that you looked up to? Even if you disagreed with them, you said, yeah, I could see how they could feel that way. That was validation. She might have gotten all the facts wrong. Do you know the best way to be able to tell your side of the story? It's not by telling her to calm down. It's not by telling her her feelings are stupid and unneeded and irrational. It's not by telling her she's delusional. It's by saying your perspective is important to me. Can we dive a little deeper into what happened that made you feel this way? Because you matter to me. And then guess what? After you do that, she will be 1,000,000 times more receptive when you say, hey, do you mind if we talk about how this miscommunication might have started? I mean, let's flip the script. Eventually, when she only has sex with you occasionally, you might feel neglected. Is that an irrational feeling? When you talk to her about it and she calls you delusional, how do you think that's going to go over? Here's a crazy idea. You disagree with me, right? That's fine. Does your wife, does the other half of your marriage disagree on what I'm saying might help your marriage? Because men, you can be right or you can be married. Hard to do both. Stop answering the question, are her feelings logical and rational? And ask, are her feelings important to me? Because that's a simple yes or no. If the answer is no, you don't need to bother with all this communication nonsense because your relationship is dying or already dead. All that's left is for you to be blindsided when she tells you she's leaving. Or we can dig down into why she's having that feeling. That's part of validation. You're saying, I don't know why you're having this feeling. I don't necessarily agree with this feeling, but it's important to me because you're important to me. Feelings are often a bid for connection. She's reaching for you. She's giving you an opportunity to show up. You don't have to agree with her to value or validate her feelings. I know that doesn't make sense, but it's true. I know you don't believe me, but I simply care about you and your marriage. You don't have to listen. And at this point, I realize I'm pretty much just talking to one guy. So, hey Frank, you look like a Frank. Frank, do me a favor and try something new. Don't like my approach? Fine. Ask your wife to find another one you can both compromise on. Learn a new way to handle conflict. Practice affection and appreciation. Go overboard on those. Over-communicate with her. Look for ways you can show up for her through either helping with the mutual chores, or if you already do that, take her out on some dates. Get her a gift. Do whatever she's into. Listen to her again. Learn about her again, her desires, her stressors, her burdens. Apologize for any unintentional hurts. That's what makes her feel connected and valued by you. Is she worth trying something new? Emily was, and on this side, I promise you, you'll be glad you did.